Hey everybody, it's Kevin, and this is your spiritual inbox, or Kev's Daily Vibe, as I like to call it. Today's Saturday, the 29th of May, 2021, and a shout out to my brother in England who is having a birthday. I won't say how old he is, but he's having a birthday, so I'll be calling you in a little bit to say happy birthday over there in England on the south coast. All right, so I hope you're well this Saturday morning and getting ready for a ripe, roaring holiday weekend. I just allow my holidays to be what they are. They come and they go, and I enjoy that. Every day is a holiday. Every day I get to celebrate that I'm still here doing what I need to do, and just loving the heck out of it. So, let's see. Yesterday I went on a bit of a rampage, and I'm not going to apologize for it. And today it seems like the angel cards are speaking. But before let me see if I can do this. I was going to switch cameras and see if I could show you, because I'm not sure she's going to come and say hello. She's asleep. But I thought I would show you. I don't know if I can do. Yeah, I can. Let's see if I can get this. Oh, yep, get this out. Excuse my armpits being in the way. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Here we go. We go. Let's see if I can do this. Is that the right way up? Yeah, hang on. So I'm going to move the camera over there so you can see that we have, besides Angel, let's see, where are you? Besides Amy, we have our other little girl here. There she is. Emma Grace. Emma. No, I'm tired, I'm sleeping, I've come up here and you're just gabbing away to angels. So those of you who know me know that Emma Grace, let's see if I can find her old picture. Oh, is that it? Was she there? That was her trying to help me cook. I forgot where there we are. Maybe that was it when she was little. Nope, that's her, she's in bed. Oh, there. So this girl here, look, her birthday is on Tuesday. And this is what she looked like about 50 weeks ago. She was a week old in this photo. And my gosh, huge. All right, let's get out of that. Miss Emma Grace, thank you for that. I am going to attempt to put this back where I found it in its little house. Oh, look at that. It went. Let's see if it... Well, it needs some time to focus. Is it not focusing? Well, it might focus. Let's see. Oops. There, did focus. Takes a bit to focus in on something. These cameras are very they're very what can I say, they are very temperamental. There we go. All right, so what's our message for today? The holy amethyst. It's very rarely spoken about. She's the twin flame of Zadkiel, who basically transmutes all kinds of negative energy. When you have maybe some things that you feel like are stuck to you, perhaps you are bothered by something, or you know, there's a lot of static, I call it emotional static, that's going on in your life. People getting on your nerves, frustration, that kind of energy. Holy amethyst, well, Archangel Zadkiel, you can call upon Archangel Zadkiel to transmute that, dump it off. Lift it, let go of it, release it, help to wash it off. Obviously, being that we've got violet, these angels and archangels are part of the violet flame. And what I'm understanding about the more work I do with angels, ascended masters, deities, Egyptian gods, Hindu gods, Buddha gods, they are all part of a cluster of energy. So if you want to think about, well, how, we're in human form. So in a way, we've sort of popped into these molds. Now, I can't say that you and I are a mold, but basically it's sort of like that. Taking a piece of our spirit, which is humongous, and then transforming it into human form. So for a little while, part of the spirit that we are, the bigness of us, the greater part of us, the part that's vibrating in what I would consider to be multi-dimensional rather than three-dimensional, which is the human form. This is multi-dimensional. We think that we can multitask, and part of us can, but when you don't have the restrictions of a physical body, and I call that restrictions because we're limited. Our body, because of the way it's built, the physicality, where we are on the planet, what we've come to do, the limits are we've got gravitational pull that keeps us down on the earth, where then we have to use that in any which way we can. But we're also connected to spirit world. We're also connected to the voices that we hear, the vibrations that we hear, the intuitive messages that we receive are also part of that spiritual energy. So what I'm understanding is that the world of spirit is a cluster. It is a grouping, if you will. It's not like the humans where you can use your human spirit and the human spirit of someone else and someone else and someone else and someone else to increase the vibrational energy. You then become a cluster, which we call a crowd. And in a crowd is incredibly powerful if every single one of those units in that crowd, people, person, is all on the same wavelength. You can find that energy lifted. It's spontaneous, it's unified, and you feel it. It isn't something you organize and you say on Tuesday at 12 o'clock we're going to do this, unless you're having a moment of silence. And even in a moment of silence, you've still got those random spirits in human form that are on their phones with their mind somewhere else, their attention somewhere else. So you've got that kind of distorted energetic pull. So let's get back to the reading. The Holy Amethyst, Divine Alchemy. She's come to say, move beyond your current challenges and focus on what you want. In other words, today of all days, have a day that truly matters. Align your intentions with what matters. Set your intentions. You can write 3 intentions for your day. And then the sub-intentions might be, is this in alignment with what I want? Is this in alignment with what I desire? And if you find yourself repeating the patterns of the past, the violet flame, the holy amethyst, even the amethyst stone, which I've got here, natural piece of amethyst, hold on to it. Use the energy of the violet flame, the energy of even Saint Germain, he's the keeper of the violet flame, to neutralize, transmute, transfer, and change that past negative programming, that past information that's been placed in your heart space. Transmute it into the intention of what you want. So what that seems to, those of you that are musical, you've heard of a downbeat. Choreographers use a downbeat to create a movement. There's like a boom, 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 boom. That downbeat is the intentional what we want. That bit is the piece that comes up behind it. So anytime we make an intention, a declaration, an affirmation of what we want to have happen, we bring it into the present moment of I am, that's the I am programming, I am this, I am that. You're affirming right now. You're changing that vibration. There's a vibration with everything that we say, we feel, and we think, and we do. So the I am then creates the vibration that puts it into the now. Even if what you say I am, what you want to be, I'm a star is a heavenly body that radiates light. I am a heavenly body that radiates light. I am a star. Perhaps at the time that you say it, perhaps at the time that you declare it, perhaps at the time that you affirm it, you don't believe it. You don't get it. You're not understanding it. There's that piece. If you say, I am poor, I cannot afford, I don't have, I'm not able to, this is hard, I am tired, I am blah blah blah. All of the I ams that have a negative affirmation to them is the So if I'm teaching someone how to get past the affirmations where they want to say, I'm loved, I'm wealthy, I'm abundant, I'm kind, I'm this, I'm that, and the other thing. If there's a piece of that that you currently are not, because let's face it, people, we don't affirm things we already are. We don't affirm wealth if we're wealthy. We don't affirm health if we're healthy. We don't affirm anything that we already are. We don't need to affirm. We only affirm what we're actually wanting to attract, receive, and be. You can give thanks for and be grateful for the things that you know that you are. I'm grateful I'm alive. I'm grateful that I've got people here to help me. I'm grateful that I've got friends that love me no matter what. I'm grateful for the unconditional love that my dogs bring me. I'm grateful for the people who presented these dogs for me to love. I'm grateful for the dogs for giving me something to love. Those kind of things we already know. But they can also lift the vibration of where we are. So once you begin to start affirming and using the holy amethyst divine alchemy, which is magic, you begin to then change your vibration and you feel it. You begin to feel lighter, you begin to feel brighter. I've had many conversations as I've done readings lately where somebody comes to me with a problem. You know, I don't get phone calls when things are going fabulously right. I don't get these phone calls from folks saying I need a reading. I usually get readings from people that are sort of going around the bend and trying to find their way out of the bend. And so usually I'm looking for the hook, if you will, the piece, if you will, from the conversation of what is it that Spirit needs to tell these folks to help them out of the hole, out of the bend, out of the notch that they need. And it's not something that I'm going to be doing the whole kumbaya thing where happy, joy, let's go down the Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole. Let's just look at where we are, look at what we're saying. I want to hear what somebody's saying. I want to hear what somebody's affirming, because what we're saying and what we're affirming is going to manifest. It's just why the divine alchemy is right here. So get into your intentions. Have your intentions written down where you can see them. Affirm your intentions as being right now present and giving thanks for them, even if you know in this present timeline they haven't occurred. So if you've got a bill to pay, like I do, thank you so much for helping me find the funds to pay the bill. Or more importantly, thank you so much for paying this bill. I'm so happy and grateful it's done. That's it. The challenge we have in human form is that man, a scientist, an astronomer, geologist, whatever they want to call it, created a calendar. Goes back to the Roman times. Figured out how many times the earth goes trotting around the sun. How many days it takes to do that. And quite brilliantly created time. Minutes, seconds, milliseconds, nanoseconds. Created it. Put it into a scientific way. Then somebody mechanically made these things called clocks. And then somebody digitally turned these clocks into digital click, 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 click. What's interesting is We never really know exactly this precise time we're going to enter into the world. We would never really know precisely the exact time that our life truly began. And those things are so controversial. Mankind has been trying to work out for eons, centuries, at what point life starts. At the time where an egg is fertilized by a sperm cell, or at a time where there's a heartbeat. And there's a very simple answer for when life starts. Physical life starts pop, always. There are microorganisms on the planet right now that are physical life. So to answer that crazy question, it doesn't ever stop. It continues on. It doesn't ever cease. It's never-ending cycle. And we don't really know the exact precise time ahead of it when we'll leave the earth and go home to spirit. We just know it's going to happen. It is going to happen. It will be my turn, your turn, everybody else's turn to pass through the chamber of life into spirit. And I like to call it a chamber of life into spirit because I've seen what that feels like. I know what that feels like. And it is not dark and dingy and nasty and horrible. It is incredible. I like to comically say that they weren't ready for Kevin yet, but I've been there before. I wasn't ready to go because I wanted to complete some things here. Intentions. Things of intent. Purpose. I wasn't quite sure how that was going to happen, which leads me to this next card, which is fabulous. I'm so glad these two showed up. So, Joan of Arc. Who was Joan of Arc? Well, if you go back into history, she went into the French army to help Charles VII fight against the British. You know, the more I learn about history and the more I go back in time with that, I think to myself, wow, those British people, those English people were quite ratchet. I mean, truly. They went into, including this country, America, and they went into all these lands and decided that they were just going to take it. What in the world were they thinking? Were they just that greedy that they needed to take everybody's land and claim it? Really? Seriously? And then what? Kick people out? Tell them to go? I had a conversation, rather political conversation. Well, it was nice actually, but it wasn't bad. You know, this is where Joan of Arc comes in. Stand in your truth. Stand strong, focus on your purpose, and release the fear that you're going to get persecuted somehow. Yes, Joan of Arc was burned at the stake. You know, no one's always going to agree with what you've got to say. They're not always going to like who you are and what you represent. But does that mean you've got to be fearful? Like, I've got many metaphysical friends and folks that do this, even myself. It's called hiding in plain sight. And here's what happens, people, when we hide. When we don't want to speak our truth. When we don't want to tell those we love that, you know, we're into meditation. Or we're going into world with spirit. Or for me, I'm studying angels, mythology. I want to become a certified angel guide. Well, I am a certified angel guide. But I want to take continued education in that. Because I happen to think, well, you know, there must be something in it because I've seen them. There must be something in it because I feel them. There must be something in it because whenever I meditate and I get these visions that come, they're glorious. They're quite something. And I would think that there was a part in my adult life where I felt, well, am I seeing it or is it my imagination? Well, imagination is an image. When you go to an architect and you sit down and you say, listen, I've got this vision of this house in my mind, which I'd like for you to design, and I want to build it. And then you go to the piece of land and you find the piece of land that house is going to sit perfectly. And when you're standing on the dirt without breaking ground, You're almost in the kitchen window looking out on the vista that you're going to create with this construction people that do it. And slowly but surely, universe says, yes, here you go. Here's the builder. Here's the engineer. Here's the concrete people that lay your driveway. Or whatever it is you're wanting to manifest and create. We do it all the time. We image all the time. Children come up to us all the time. Hey, I've seen this woman. Okay, she doesn't exist. Well, she exists in the mind of that child. But because adults can't see it, or they can't get it, or they don't really want to know the truth, they poo-poo it. So Joan of Arc, the card of Joan of Arc, comes along to tell us today is the day that you decide not to be persecuted by your beliefs. Speak your truth, stand up for yourself. And for me, that includes getting people to have a day and a life that truly matters. Yesterday, I was a bit nervous about pointing out, look, if you're not here with a purpose and if you're not getting in touch with something brighter, lighter, and more involved, you got to get out of the way, move over. Because most of us that are here to do light work, working with the light, working with the love, whether it's astrology, bringing energy from the ethers, from spirit world to help calm down the nerves of people that are here. We don't really need the static. We don't really need the vibes of saying you're crazy, you're off the wall, you're nuts. We don't really like gay people. Do not need you religious zealots to turn around and say we're going to hell and there's all kinds of abominations that are going to happen. To that I say F off. And those people who really aren't happy with somebody of colour, listen, the colour of their skin's got none of your damn business. Go away. These are the things, the marginalised people. I spoke yesterday about that. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. If you want to know what I had to say about that, pop onto yesterday's message. But these two wonderful spirits say to me, that says to you, look, the time is right now to stand in your truth. And the truth of love, the truth of light, the truth of happiness, the truth of what you truly believe in your heart of hearts. And be okay with it. You know, if you've decided that you are now 58 years old and that, you know, whatever you've done with your life up to this point, you're bored with it, you're fed up with it, and to do something miraculously outrageous might be seen as crazy, do it anyway. Find the people that get you. Find your cheering section. Find that crowd that say, yes, go on, be whatever you want to be. We have to surround ourselves with people that support the agenda that we have. And at the same time, recognize that they have been placed in our lives for a reason. I have a challenge that I've always had, that is asking for help. Admitting that I need some help when I need some help. Saying, I could use a little help over here. I could use a little help with increasing business. I could use a little help with clients booking appointments. I hide all of that. And I say to myself, people don't need to know my troubles. They've got more troubles of their own. I say to myself, I'm here to help serve people. That also means I got to be serving myself. And I make up all kinds of stories in my head about what people are going to think if I do this, or if I do that, or if I do the other thing. That sort of stuff has got to stop. So these cards that pop out of the deck, that I seem to think come from me, to talk to me, to give me a personal message, well, I'm sharing it with you because if I've got this message, you've got this message too. Look at any time you've ever said something to yourself about what you are worried about. Somebody else saying about you. Somebody else thinking about you. It's all about approval. That's really where this comes down to. You have to approve yourself. You have to approve what you're doing. Especially now. Especially now. You know, we've got to teach children that they are worthy and that they matter, because they made it through the birth canal just like we did. They're coming up. That generation that's 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, doesn't matter who they belong. Well, it does matter who they belong to, because, you know, we can't, the laws of the land say we just can't go putting ideas into children's heads. They're going to go home, and next thing you know, you're going to get somebody's parents banging on the door. I don't know if that's true, but from what I gather, that's possible. We have to band together. The brief times I've seen news reports here locally, these words come up: magnet school, pilot program, magnet program. It all reeks of special. People all want to be special. They all want to join the special line. They all want to get in the special line with the special people. Listen, that's the negativity that's going to drive people insane. Everybody's special. Everybody's equal. Someone may not learn the same way you learn. So what? Figure out the way they learn and then fill in the gaps. That's why I think I loved when I practiced Baptiste yoga and taught Baptiste yoga. It was called All Levels for a reason. A teacher has to meet their students at the student's level. The teacher has to know there's one student looking at one teacher, but the teacher's looking at many. They have to figure out a way to find all of that energy and pull it into one place and say that the message for one student is the message for all the students. The message comes, the message was taught, the message was learned, and teachers do nothing but share. The minute somebody puts themselves above you, below you, on a different level than you, which happens all the time, watch it. That's the minute they're robbing themselves, the biggest thief of themselves, as they're not seeing the incredible power and beauty that comes from equalizing everything. That whole term, how can I help? What can I do? How can I help? What can I do? And then you can ask that of your angels. You can call upon the holy amethyst, who's always saying, how can I help? Your guardian angel, how can I help? What can I do? Bring me focus, bring me a purpose, bring me a reason that I can make a difference. Bring me a day that matters, bring me a thought that matters. Help me overcome the fears. Help me remove these fears and turn them into something positive. Help me overcome the burdens of the past and the patterns of what I've said to myself. Help me transform into the person I was created to be. There you go. All right, we're going to get on with today's message, Journey to the Heart. I love this book. You know, it was written in the 90s. I've said that if you've been following me. It was a book I found when I went through my Yoga 1 teacher training with some brilliant gals. Oh, my goodness. And Daniel, I think he was the only male teacher that we had. I'm trying to think. Was there another one? Oh, no, Dave Kuklins. He was another one that was, oh, gosh, there's so many. And I'm going back, wow, 2013. And honestly, I was 50 years old. Yeah, you're trying to work out how old I am, aren't you? 51 almost. And I thought I knew it all. You know, in the 80s, I took many courses. I've got one of my course books here that I'm going to start reading. Gosh, this book is old as dirt. It's Loving Relationships. I don't even know if this is still in print. Loving Relationships by Sandra Ray. How to attract your ideal mate. How to create the relationship the way you want. How to clear blocks that keep you from having a perfect relationship. How to prevent arguments and have good communications. How to use your friendships for enlightenment. How to prevent and handle jealousy. How to take out the difficulty in your relationship and have fun instead. And then how to have a relationship last as long as you want it to. And how to create new age, spiritual, exciting relationship. The author of I Deserve Love, The Only Diet There Is, Celebration of Breath, and the co-author with Leonard Orr of Rebirthing in the New Age. You know, it's so odd that this term, New Age, has been bandied about since the 60s, then the 70s, and then the 80s came along and there was a big burst of it then. People were self-expressing. Cyndi Lauper was colouring her hair every colour of the rainbow. I did it. Boy George came along. Adam Ant was going. I mean, all of these incredible, iconic. Diana Ross was doing her thing. Even though she had already been through Motown, she got a resurgence in the 80s along with Cher. Although Cher popped back up in the early 2000s. She went off to make movies in the 80s, I think. But this book, Giving Each Other Space... I'm trying to think when this was. It's the publisher with Celestial Arts of Berkeley, California. Yes, first printing 1980. That's how long I've been doing this. And oddly enough, here we are 20 years later. And we're still talking about the same thing. Is it 20 years later? No, 40 years later. My goodness. Of course, I've got, Louise Hay's 30th anniversary book. The first book I have of this, You Can Heal Your Life, You Can Heal Your Body. I don't know what happened to it. I was trying to find it the other day amongst all my books, and I must have given it away. Anyway, let's get on with today's lesson. Let the past slip away. Isn't that incredible? Goes along with the cards. See, there's no accident. It's all here. Gently, lovingly leave past moments behind. Bye-bye. You can't lose love. You don't need to hang on so tightly. If the lesson has been learned, if it's time to move on, let the past slip away. Come on to the present moment. Discover all that there is for you. Clinging to the lessons, people, feelings from yesterday will keep you tired, confused, and afraid. Shed the tears that need to be shed. Feeling the grief will help you bring about transformation. Then say goodbye. Be glad you had the experience you did. Be grateful for all you've learned about yourself, about love, and then gently move into today. Stop believing in loss. Start believing in life. Let the past slip away. Come gently into right now. I kind of like the term come gently into like right now. The way I work it, the way I have worked it, the way my spirit works it, the way I work it, I usually come into the now with a bump. And in my physical form, the bump looks like the battle between what I have been told, what I have been taught, what somebody has put in my head space that becomes something that sticks in my heart space. It goes around like this, and I'm thinking to myself now at, what am I, 58? How did this happen? And why did it happen? And what's the purpose of it? Sometimes there's no real answer for that. There's no real answer for why we keep scratching the record of the past. You just have to dump it, let it go. But that is also part of the purpose of being in this embodiment, in this physical body, in this way we are. It is to overcome some of this, because in spirit form, it's all love, it's all light, it's all incredible. There's a sense of comfort. There's a sense of, wow, accomplishing something. What people don't realize is when spirit comes into the physical form, we already have at our disposal these multiple dimensional powers, because we're all part of that same vibrational energy, source energy, God energy, universal energy. Except now we get to change and shift the physical world, if you will. We become human engineers of the planet Earth. Except not every child, when they become a teenager, and grow into an adult continues that cycle of remembering where they came from on the purpose. Somewhere in the teenage years, there's an epiphany that happens. I was about 14 or 15 when I had mine, and I remember it. I know where I was, I knew who I was with, and I know the pastor, his name was Martin Mellows, and the actual time and place with which it all happened. And I know what shifted from that point. And we forget, we go in and out of our lives. We go in and out of what we do next. We go in and out of situations and circumstances. But every situation and circumstance that you have had has brought you to where you are. And if you're listening to this and you're still on this video, then you're paying attention to changes have to be made. And it starts with you. It starts with what your intention is, what your purpose is. And it starts by giving up the past and stop putting that in your suitcase and dragging it on behind you. It's like dirty laundry. Stick it in the wash cycle. Let it spin around and dump out the dirt and move on with clean clothes. Let's meditate, shall we? Feet flat on the floor. Big breath in. Let it go and let your belly go. Let your body go and let it release. Feels good. Do that again. Release and let go. Bring your left hand on your heart, right hand on your belly. Meditation is you observing yourself. Let's start with a prayer to remove any of the negative thoughts, feelings, darkness. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for removing the ties that bind me to people, places, situations and stories, drama and gossip, nonsense and negativity. Thank you for removing and cutting these ties right now. I lift the weight of the world off my shoulders and declare that I am safe and I'm free. So it is and so shall it be. Picture a blue flame similar to that of a gas light, and just imagine yourself in the middle of it. And that gorgeous aura of Archangel Michael is a beautiful color of sapphire blue. And as you picture yourself covered in the healing blue light of Archangel Michael surrounding you, you can hear the pop, the fizz of all of the negative thoughts and feelings and nonsense you no longer want or need being lifted and removed. Now it's time to tone your space. Thank you, Archangel Metatron. And the light workers of the magenta light. Thank you for clearing my space of the lower vibrational energies that have attached themselves to me. Thank you for clearing my space forward. Thank you for paving the way to the divine light. I declare that I'm a star, and a star is a heavenly body radiating light. I'm a heavenly body radiating light, and I am a star. And from the soles of your feet, up and around your body, and into your heart space, picture an aura, the brightest color of magenta you can think of. Feel the vibration of this color working from your heart down to your toes, lighting every part of your body from the inside out, up through the crown of your head, and creating a force field 4 to 6 inches from the surface of your skin. You can see this as plumes of energy, plumes of smoke. You can see this as electromagnetic energy, but keep the color of magenta, creating a negative or a magnetic pull, pushing the negativity, the darker, lower vibrational energies down and away from you. With your hand, left hand heart, right hand belly, remind yourself by repeating this affirmation: I am the keeper of my mind and my heart and my body. Wherever love is, fear is a complete stranger, and love is right here within me. So it is, and so shall it be. Now bring your mind to a feeling of gratitude. What are you most grateful for right now, this minute? What brings you joy and lifts your heart and your spirit right now, this minute? What brings you life force energy that lifts you far and beyond anything else right now, this minute? Now picture the white light in your heart space, lifting up through your brow, lifting down or lowering down through your pelvis, buttocks, genitals, your legs, knees, ankles, every one of your toes. Allow this beautiful Christed white light to extend down into the floor. Light up the ground. Lift this light from your heart out, up. See it rise through the crown of your head, up through your soul star chakra, the one 6 inches above your head, into the stellar gateway. And think of the stellar gateway as a cluster of stars forming a crown above your head. This is your stellar gateway, your gateway to source energy, and watch as that bright white light from the star that you are, refueling, replenishing your entire physical being. See that the feeling of gratitude and grace, humility and love, radiating from the center of your being outward in every direction. And as you look far and beyond, imagine other beings filled with light, all radiating with the same vibrational energy as yours. Know that in your heart space, in your spirit world, your experiences that are anything other than love, anything other than positive energy, anything other than for your highest good, is for the highest good of all. This light of yours is shining bright. This light of yours is radiating, vibrating. There is enough love to use and give. The supply is endless. Know that the love that you're using and give makes you feel good. It's an expression of your joy. Settle into your breath, settle into the feeling of this joy, the feeling of this love. Thank you, angels, for reminding me of your presence. It feels so good to be among you, to be with you, to be vibrating with your energy. Thank you for revealing to me what I need to know. I am willing to listen, to receive, to share, and to grow. So it is, and so shall it be. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Lift your thumb knuckles to your third eye center. And together we bow and say Namaste. Thank you so much. Thanks for letting me come into your lives and bring you the message. All of you, every one of you have a gift. Every one of you have a purpose. Every one of you have a reason. Connect with that reason. Connect with that purpose. Find your teachers. Become the teacher. And give up the idea that you are not powerful enough to be who you are. See you tomorrow. Bye.